Hello and welcome back to The Witness. Now, just so everybody knows, I made a bit of a mistake with episode 5. Basically what happened is I recorded it, I edited it, I exported it, and then accidentally realised there was an error with the exporting, but I'd already deleted the source files because I was in such a flipping rush to get it up onto YouTube that I goofed. I goofed hard, alright? Now, in episode 5, we solved a couple of things. For one thing, we opened this door. As you can see... we got that right. Basically, what it was, where I was struggling, was that you have to have access for all of the dots to touch the other dots. For example, so these two white dots can touch these two white dots, these two white dots, and this white dot. So they've got all of that section and this white dot. So all the white dots can kind of touch each other. And the black dots are pretty much similar. So we have that one there. So we managed to solve that. Okay? That's pretty easy. What was in here was a nice view of a tree, which we don't really know what that is yet. That's fine. And then there was this box that we opened with a very, very simple sort of like, it was a puzzle where we just had to draw a straight line. And I activated this. Now, this, if you remember, is something that happens in the cinema downstairs in the windmill. So, if we head over to the windmill now, I will show you what happened when we put that into the hexagon pattern by the windmill. That's the wrong way. We did do a couple of other things, which we will catch you up with soon as well. But I think one thing we're going to save, one thing that we did, that we're going to keep a bit of a secret, because I don't think we need to see it yet, which is what is on top of that mountain. Because it's pretty damn cool up there. But right, so if we head over to the windmill, we can show you what happened when we put that code in. Down we go into the dark. I'm gonna have to have a rethink about episode 6 because I did a load of stuff in episode 6 that since that. So what I might do is I might just have this as quite a short catch-up episode, and then we'll go to episode 6 so you can all see episode 6, and then we'll continue from after that one. I think it's probably going to be the best course of action. Right. Okay. So on this here, we entered this code. So we started here. And we drew an S down here, and it hit. And this started. So I will let you watch this.
Well, that's no better a solution than any of the others, is it? So, in the end, have we learned anything from this look at why the world turned out the way it did that's of any use to us in our future? Something, I think. That the key to why things change is the key to everything. How easy is it for knowledge to spread? And that in the past, the people who made change happen were the people who had that knowledge, whether they were craftsmen or kings. Today, the people who make things change, the people who have that knowledge, are the scientists and the technologists who are the true driving force of humanity. And before you say, what about the Beethovens and the Michelangelos? Let me suggest something with which you may disagree violently. That at best, the products of human emotion, art, philosophy, politics, music, literature, are interpretations of the world that tell you more about the guy who's talking than about the world he's talking about. Second-hand views of the world, made third-hand by your interpretation of them. Things like that. As opposed to this. Know what it is? It's a bunch of amino acids. The stuff that goes to build up a worm, or a geranium, or you. This stuff's easier to take, isn't it? Understandable. Got people in it. This, scientific knowledge, is hard to take because it removes the reassuring crutches of opinion, ideology, and leaves only what is demonstrably true about the world. And the reason why so many people may be thinking about throwing away those crutches is because, thanks to science and technology, they have begun to know that they don't know so much, and that if they are to have more say in what happens to their lives, more freedom to develop their abilities to the full, They have to be helped towards that knowledge that they know exists and that they don't possess. And by help towards that knowledge, I don't mean give everybody a computer and say, help yourself. Where would you even start? No, I mean trying to find ways to translate the knowledge, to teach us to ask the right questions. See, we're on the edge of a revolution in communications technology that is going to make that more possible than ever before. Or, if that's not done, to cause an explosion of knowledge that will leave those of us who don't have access to it as powerless as if we were deaf, dumb, and blind. And I don't think most people want that. So what do we do about it? I don't know. But maybe a good start would be to recognize within yourself the ability to understand anything, because that ability is there, as long as it's explained clearly enough. And then go and ask for explanations. And if you're thinking right now, what do I ask for? Ask yourself if there's anything in your life that you want changed. That's where to start.
Well, that was pretty damn interesting, I think. Made by the BBC, by a guy called James Burke. Really cool. I think it kind of explains a little bit about the ethos behind this game, that kind of like knowledge is power, and like understanding how certain puzzles work kind of like really gives you quite a lot of power as to sort of like where you can go. So things like that. So I think that's quite important. And things. So we learned that pattern, and we had the power then to put this option in, and that gave us access to watching that film. So we learned quite a bit from that. Now, there is one more thing that we discovered. Excuse me, as my dogs have a fight beneath me. There's one more thing we learned in this episode, in episode 5, that I need to show you, which is really quite cool. So let's head over to the nearest point that I can find. Now, do you remember when we ended episode 1 on that sort of like, we collapsed that wall in that building down by the lake, by the sea, and it's sort of like, that's a problem. There was a little panel that we couldn't light up. Well, when we walked around the island, which I did in the last one, I had a bit of an explore and found loads of puzzles that I couldn't do because I had no idea how they worked. Basically, what I found was one of those panels was lit up. And what that panel had on it was this little symbol here. What that little symbol there did was give us access to this boat. Alright? Now this boat lets us travel around the island, and one of the other key things that sort of like happened was that we sort of saw this map of what we have in the island. So, if we click on this, we can see that we're here by the township, and there's the windmill, and it's sort of links that, and there's another puzzle over here. This is the hut where we first were, so that's where the first time we saw one. So that's that section there with all the mirror sections here. There's sort of like a zone up here, which is all about movement and platforms, I think, over here. And then we've got some Tetris zones over here, and then whatever this is, and whatever this is, and whatever these are, and all sorts of things like that. So there's lots of other stuff for us to do, which means this game's really freaking big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut episode 5 quite short here on this one. Because like that's kind of like all we did in episode 5. We went up to the top of the mountain, but I'm going to be honest, there was nothing up there that you really need to see right now. So we'll go up to the mountain again later. So what I'll do is I'll upload episode 6 today as well, so that you can see episodes 5 and 6 together, and then we will continue on with new puzzles from episode 7. All right. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Sorry this was a short one, but you are going to get a double episode today. Okay? So thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please feel free to like. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. And I'll see you very, very shortly. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.